am Lily. Today I'm going to read you the story, The Beast and the Bethany. The Birdless Cage, from page 145 to page 155. Okay, let's read it. The Birdless Cage. Ebenezer led Bethany into the bird shop. They were soon greeted by the large and pleasant bird keeper. Hello, hello, welcome to the finest and most specialist bird shop in the world, said the bird keeper. It was a sentence which he used to greet all new customers. Don't you recognize us? I've been here several times, and you sold Bethany some worms, said Ebenezer. The bird keeper peered into Ebenezer's face as if he were inspecting the plumage of a rare bird. Eventually, he dawned on him. Oh, it's Mr. Tweezer, he said. Sorry for not recognizing you sooner, but you don't like you usually do. Have you had a haircut? No, I've just lost control of my body. Don't worry. I will soon have a potion for it. Right, said the bird keeper, not quite sure how to respond. He turned his attention to Bethany. You owe me 10 worms, miss. The backpack you gave me was useless. So were those worms. They kept wiggling out of Jeffrey's nostrils, said Bethany. I'd like 5 new ones, please. And I'd like a brand new backpack. I will settle for 2.5. You will settle for nothing. The bird keeper wondered why Ebenezer had picked such an argumentative child. He was sure that the orphanage would have had some far nicer ones to choose from. Sorry to interrupt, said Ebenezer, as Bethany was about to lower her offer to 1.75 of a worm. But we're on a bit of a tight schedule. Do you mind if we go straight to business? Of course, said the bird keeper, but if you've come about the society finches, then I'm afraid to say that I ain't got any left. Mr. and Mrs. Cossack got the last ones this morning. No, it's not about that. In fact, it's not about a specific bird at all. You're not looking to buy anything, said Ebenezer. The bird keeper's face fell. His favorite thing was Ebenezer's visits was always the money he got at the end of them. My friend Bethany here wants to see some animals, and we're looking for something a bit more personal than the zoo. We were wondering whether you would perhaps be able to give us a little bird tour, asked Ebenezer. It was the most unusual request. The bird keeper had never been asked to do such a thing before. I'd love to help, Mr. Tweezer. I really would, but I have a business to run. If you're not looking to buy anything today, then I'm afraid I ain't gonna be able to help you. Bird tours are not something that Ebenezer silenced the bird keeper by laying a pile of nuts on the counter. But as you're a good customer, I'd be happy to help, Mr. Tweezer, beamed the bird keeper. Come on, Drew. Did you just call me your friend? Bethany asked Ebenezer as they were led through the back of the shop. Yes, I did, he answered. It's funny. I don't remember the last time I referred to Annie as a friend. What a loser, she laughed. Then a few months at it, she added, Don't think I ever had a real friend either. You can be my first, if you like. Ebenezer stopped as a moment unusual warm feeling filled him from top to toe. Hurry up, loser, Bethany called over her shoulder. The first bird on the tour was the Hudson, a very extremely smelly bird with claws on its wings and a spikily hairdo of feathers at the top of its head. Would you like to feed it? Asked the bird keeper. Bethany nodded determinedly. Go and fetch those flowers by the till for me then. I don't flowers are going to make it smell any better. Wouldn't it be more useful if we fetched some perfume? Suggested Ebenezer. Bethany returned with the flowers, a delightful bucket of lilacs, daffodils, and sweet peas. The bird keeper opened the Horson's cage and motioned for Bethany to put them in. The Horson's eyes widened and its nostrils flared with excitement. It took 1 or 2 sniffs of the flowers, then it opened its beak and started woofing. them down. Ebenezer gasped, while Bethany giggled. The hoatzin is a South American herbivore, explained the bird keeper. He saw Bethany was confused. So he added, herbivore basically means that it doesn't eat meat, love flowers and plants and all that. Part of the reason why it smells, actually. Does plant eating make it smelly? Asked Bethany. Sort of. It has a stomach like a cow and it digests its food very slowly and in a way which lets out a lot of nasty smells. I've had it for years because I ain't been able to find anyone who wants to bring the smell into their house. Anyway, I ain't got all day. Time for the next one. The next one was a long, big, red-eyed creature with black and razor-sharp talons. The sign on its cage said, read, the fantastically ferocious eagle. The fantastical ferocious eagle. The name's Joe, explained the bird keeper. As a matter of fact, it's probably the gentlest bird in the whole building. Unlike most eagles, it ain't a predator, and it doesn't really need much food, only one grape enough to see it through for an entire week. Speaking of which, the bird keeper removed a green grape from his jacket pocket and gave it to Bethany. He removed the fantastically ferocious eagle from its cage and gently placed it so that it was perched on Bethany's shoulder. Are you sure that's a good idea? Asked Ebenezer as he looked at the razor-sharp talons. Trust me, Bethany couldn't be safer, said the bird keeper. Yeah, mind your own beeswax, added Bethany. She stroked the black feathers on the fantastically ferocious eagle and fatted the grape. A small, happy smile formed around the fantastically ferocious eagle's beak, and it rubbed its belly with its wings. It looked like someone who had just eaten a 5-course feast. Will that really lasted a whole week? Asked Bethany. Oh yes, if it ain't more than anymore, then it wouldn't feel too good. Especially if it were to leave unholdily anything, said the bell keeper. Bethany ran her fingers along the bird's talons, and then she returned to stroking its feathers. After a few strokes, the bird shut its eyes and let out of a gentle snore. The fantastically ferocious eagle must feel comfortable with you, said the bird keeper. He gently removed the fantastically ferocious eagle from Bethany's shoulder and returned it to the cage. It doesn't sleep on just anyone. Next to the door were the parakeets, a pair of small, round, colorful birdies who got on so well that the bird keeper said that he would only ever sell them as a pair. Then they agoraphobic homing pigeons, and after that were the hummingbirds and the tooting ducks. The bird keeper let Bethany hoard and feed all of them. Bethany had never seen a child look so happy. He was amazed that Bethany could take such joy from something which didn't involve pulling a prank or saying something rude. He decided that she deserved to take one of them home. I've been thinking, he said to her as she fed a kingfisher's arm a worm. Maybe if we keep it very, very quiet and we make sure that the beast doesn't find out, then we might get away with it. Bethany's eyes lit up. Do you mean? She asked. Yes, if you like. We can take one home with us, he answered. Now it was time for the bird keeper's eye to light up. Which one do you want? He asked. They're all very reasonably priced. Bethany looked at all the birds and had gone before. She had enjoyed seeing the parakeets twitter excitedly at each other and the tooting ducks, and made her laugh a lot. However, there was only going to be one winner. She pointed at the fantastically ferocious eagle. An excellent choice, said the bird keeper. You will have a safe fortune on bird feed as well, Mr. Tweezer. I will go and get it for you now. Wait a minute, said Bethany. What about the rest of the tour? The bird keeper sighed. He was impatient to get his hands on the money. He watched through showing Bethany and Ebenezer the rest of the birds. He didn't let Bethany hoard the doves because he said that they were pretty but far too boring to interest her, and he didn't give them any interesting facts about the toucan. When they got into the final cage, the bird keeper said, "Well, this one doesn't need any instruction." The final cage was empty. It was labeled with a sign with just Patrick. Do you remember? Patrick was eaten by the beast at the first time. "Is it an invisible bird?" asked Bethany as she peered into the cage. "Mr. Tweezer, you don't mean to tell me that you ain't introduced her to Patrick yet?" asked the birdkeeper. Ebenezer looked sheepish. Then he looked to the floor. "Who's Patrick?" asked Bethany. "Why, only one of the most rarest, most wonderfulest birds!" exclaimed the birdkeeper. It's a Winterian purple British parrot, less than 20 of them left in the world. He can sing any song, human, birdie, and everything else. "Have you got him to sing any Elvis yet, Mr. Tweezer?" No, I haven't," said Ebenezer, still refusing to move his eyes from the floor. "You should. He does a lovely burning love." Bethany walked over to Ebenezer and tapped him on the arm. He ignored her, knowing what was coming. He hoped just to leave her swiftly with a fantastically ferocious eagle before having to answer any tricky questions. But Bethany kept tapping until Ebenezer eventually looked up from the ground. His eyes were filled with regret. "What happened to Patrick?" asked Ebenezer. Asked Bethany. Sorry. I'm afraid, well, he's no longer exactly alive, he said. "What?" exclaimed the birdkeeper. His bottom lip wobbled with sadness. "How is that possible? He was the best and truest bird that I ever knew." Or the birds in the room who understand English were most offended than when they heard us. "I just don't understand," continued the birdkeeper. He was so kind and so healthy. How could this have happened?" "I think I know," said Bethany quietly, "and I think it wasn't pleasant. Your birds are wonderful, but I don't think I want to take any back into Ebenezer's house." Bye!